Dr. Jose Rizal, our national hero, a brilliant mind, and the author who inspired the Philippine Revolution. But did you know that he was also a Freemason? This hidden facet of his life played a crucial role in his beliefs and, ultimately, his fate. Born in Calamba, Laguna in 1861 to middle-class, educated parents, Jose Rizal was one of 11 children. As a young boy, he studied in nearby Banaon and later went on to study in Manila at the Ateneo Municipal de Manila and the University of Santo Tomas. His journey eventually took him to Europe, where he continued his studies in medicine and began to sharpen his ideas for reform. While studying abroad, Rizal was drawn to Freemasonry, a worldwide fraternity that promoted ideals of freedom, equality, and fraternity, particularly resonant for a young Filipino living under Spanish colonial rule. And before we dive into Rizal's involvement, let's first understand Freemasonry. Freemasonry is one of the world's oldest and largest fraternal organizations, tracing its roots back to the medieval stonemason guilds of Europe. By the 18th century, these guilds transformed into societies dedicated to moral and intellectual development, bound by ideals of brotherhood, freedom, and personal integrity. Freemasons gather in lodges, where members work through degrees of knowledge, practice rituals, and discuss topics related to ethics, philosophy, and human rights. They use symbols, like the square and compass, to represent moral truths and to encourage members to square their actions and keep their lives in balance. Their teachings emphasize core values such as freedom of thought, the importance of knowledge, and tolerance of different religions and backgrounds. Freemasonry isn't a religion, but its members share a spiritual commitment to self-improvement and the pursuit of truth. For someone like Jose Rizal, whose mind was open to new ideas and deeply committed to the welfare of his people, Freemasonry offered an environment that encouraged questioning authority and seeking knowledge, values that clashed with the Catholic Church's control over the Philippines at the time. As Rizal traveled and studied in Europe, he came across Masonic lodges and members, which allowed him to immerse himself in their teachings. These ideals resonated deeply with him, as they aligned with his vision of a free and enlightened Philippines. Rizal's first documented encounter with Freemasonry was in 1882, while he was in Europe. On November 15, 1890, he was initiated as a Master Mason at Logia Solidaridad 53 in Madrid. A year later, he joined a lodge under the Grand Orient of France and later became an honorary worshipful master of Nilid Lodge No. 144 in the Philippines. During his time with Nilid Lodge, Rizal gave a powerful lecture titled La Masoneria, where he openly spoke about Masonry's values and how they aligned with his vision of freedom and reform for the Philippines. Rizal wasn't the only Filipino Mason. Other revolutionary figures like Andres Bonifacio, Juan Luna, and Apolinario Mabini were also members. However, Rizal was unique. Historian Reynold Fajardo described him as the only Filipino revolutionary leader who deserved to be called an international Mason, thanks to his membership in multiple lodges across Europe. Freemasonry provided a foundation to oppose the Church's influence over Filipino society. He believed that religion, especially as practiced by the friars of his time, suppressed the Filipino spirit and kept people in ignorance. Through Masonry, he found a path that encouraged questioning, personal growth, and solidarity. As a Freemason, Rizal faced significant conflict with the Catholic Church, which held immense power in the Philippines. In his final days, priests like Father Patels and Father Sanchez tried to persuade him to retract his Masonic beliefs. They promised him safety and even a reprieve from his death sentence if he renounced Masonry. But Rizal stood firm. He died as a Freemason, refusing to retract his beliefs even if it meant his life. In the end, the Church denied him a Christian burial, and he was buried in an unmarked grave at Paco Cemetery. But soon after, fellow Masons gathered to honor him, showcasing their respect and defiance in the streets of Manila. The Masonic values that Rizal lived by continue to resonate with us today. His beliefs in freedom, equality, and the importance of knowledge inspired a generation of Filipinos to challenge colonial rule. His martyrdom didn't just light the path to independence. It cemented the Philippines' place in the larger struggle for liberty. Rizal's ideals as a Freemason live on in the stories of our national heroes and in the values that continue to inspire Filipinos to seek truth, freedom, and equality. So, Was Rizal's death a statement of loyalty to his Masonic beliefs? Absolutely. His unwavering commitment to his principles and his courage in facing the church and the colonial powers ultimately shaped his legacy. Rizal's life reminds us that heroism isn't just about fighting battles. It's about standing firm in one's convictions, even in the face of death. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the lesser-known side of Jose Rizal. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments what other aspects of Philippine history you'd like to explore.